Alright, lads, as part of this continuing break, I am now doing F-Zero Stage 2. Yeah. Just in the same vein as doing SMK Limited 2, we have more F-Zero for your viewing pleasure, assuming you want to view it. But yeah, like SMK Limited, I've done like at least half a dozen of these before. So there's going to be some familiarity I already have. I think one downside of doing this again is that since I jump straight into expert mode, I don't get the practice from the previous leagues like I used to. However, I don't have to worry about getting in first. I always have to be at least third or better, because there's no actual reward for staying in first all the time except bragging rights. And anyway, it doesn't even total up your... You don't have like a GP point system so you can tell if you've been first overall, you know what I mean? So that doesn't even tie into that. But all you knows about the mute cities, which is all muted and all that crap and shite, putting all the F-Zeros together. Always driving in the Blue Falcon. There's only like 4 cars anyway, so I'll just stick to the Blue Falcon by default. I know some people are like, okay, dude, use the Fire Stingray, and I'm like, I hear you. I understand. I'm just gonna use Blue Falcon. Do what you will. What else is Milligan 2? Oh, okay. So, I was trying to do this thing with my phone, right? And I have this screen copier thing, which basically what I'm doing is I'm mirroring the screen to my computer. Now, why would that be useful, you say? Well, if for some reason there was an Android exclusive game that was appropriate for this YouTube channel, you know, I have to find a way to make it work in terms of recording. But however, there's this one missing aspect so far, which I have yet to figure out, which is the audio forwarding. Supposedly it's supposed to do it automatically. I did not see such thing unless I have to like run it in the terminal options, unfortunately, which means I have to check what all the options are, or wonder if there's a tutorial on that of someone doing it before. But no, like most mobile games wouldn't really apply anyway, but I'm just saying those rare few that may or may not, I should be ready for that. And also it's just a general interesting tool to try to use anyway, because imagine like you have an HDMI cord and you're like, oh wow, I'm playing my smart mobile games on my big widescreen television. You know, as opposed to my computer monitor being already big, but I just mean because I have it hooked up to the speakers. So it's like, whoa, dude, look at that surround sound you're getting from a mobile game. Why would you do this? Well, it is borderline experimental. It is pretty much experimental, I guess. We're now in Red Canyon. Oh yeah, if I die, I die. Because I decided, just like with Mario Kart, since you only get so many lives to use anyway, although I do get an extra life every 10,000 points, which is actually a reason to keep going, usually. Sometimes I'll just choose to give up, but other times I go all the way, but then it becomes a time waster, and it's just like, oof. That especially happens to me in the King Circuit, or whatever. These tracks, they're made for walking, and that's just what I'm going to do, is walk all over your dumb shit. Yeah. Look at all that kind of stuff. Do. All of these F-Zeros, getting all those things over, and that's all the things that they do. All the things that explode on me. All those cars, they like to explode on me. We got a magnet on the side of the road. This magnet's a real chode. See how we got all that? What else? This is just right on the cusp of me having... This is right on the coattails of me already doing the Mario Kart thing, so I'm wondering what extra we have to discuss here. Let's see, I went over... Yeah, I'm doing some physical medical stuff soon. That's not going to put me out of commission, mind you. In fact, the fact that it hasn't put me out of commission already is none short of miracle. Like, okay. Picture this in your mind. This part of my medical stuff isn't that complicated. So I'll free myself to talk about it. Alright, imagine you have a muscle that's stuck, okay? It contracted. Alright, you can imagine that. Now imagine you never noticed that muscle existed. And somehow you lived your life knowing without ever actually having used it, which would almost seem to be practically impossible. So you're wondering how I could live like that for so long. I don't know either. It turns out I may have been a great deal of pain without ever knowing it. So that's what I get to deal with. Oddly enough, the easiest track might be this long-ass port town one. Actually, yeah, because I have room to do top speed stuff. So, yeah, this is definitely a good track for Fire Stingray. Fire Stingray definitely is like the king of top speed. The Gold Fox being the king of acceleration. And the Blue Falcon is actually good, probably the best one on here that's good at turning. I think it's the best turner car. And the, was it the Goose? The something, you know, the one that Pico drives, that green one. That one's the best for taking damage, I think. Possibly. But I want to emphasize that I'm in it to turn, so I use the turn car. And also it's supposedly the most balanced, but yeah, sure, that's enough of a reason. When you do all those things and makes you want to cry. And if you don't know about it, then it makes you want to die. If you don't know about all those things that make you want to lie on the ground, then you want to see if you are going to be lost or found. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Guess we'll not know. At a point in time that we put this Falcon in its prime. Please, Nintendo, please rescue F-Zero games. Just make a new F-Zero game for Switch. You're already making... you already made 2 Pokemon games, or 2 major Pokemon games, and a new Zelda game. It's time to bring out the F-Zero. You've run through every, like, Mario, like, spin-off also. And you've already done Pokemon Mystery Dungeon again, and you have all those things for it. There's only so many games left to port, Nintendo. What do you have left? What do you have left, indeed? Actually, wasn't Nintendo going to try to port the TurboGrafx to Switch? I mean, were they really? I'm only mentioning it because I realized I did some Bomberman, so I'm like, that seems like something they might do. So, I imagine they could. They have to okay it with the Nippon Electric Company, of course. Plus Konami. Actually, yeah. For Bomberman, it would be just Konami. Oh, just for all those Hudson titles. Well, then, like, what other TurboGrafx games would be worth playing? Like, Bonk? Or not worth playing, like, in a sense that you worth knowing about. It's like, you remember Bonk? It was your premier TurboGrafx game. It's like, yeah... I don't really remember a lot about the exclusive of TurboGrafx, but there were many. There were many indeed. Silence! Nothing silent about it, except for the fact there's no life. Got this nice little jump. Yes, it looks like a sideways C that has a little jump in the middle. I'm the pretender of the seas. I will not kill you, won't you please? Wow, this purple car does not even belong in the top 4, somehow skidooing past the other AIs. I'm not sure how that works exactly. Here's a question for you, generally. If you have any insight, please share. Does F-Zero have RNG? Because it doesn't seem like it, which is very good for me. However, I think in how they generate these cars that have nothing to do with position, just to make my day worse. These enemy cars that are not the rival NPCs that are supposed to be driving these things on the road, just littering, including explosive ones. I wonder if that factors in some amount of RNG? Maybe? Just thinking that now. Certainly seems less likely. But you never know with these things when the water is vaporwave. Yeah, silence does make for a good vaporwave aesthetic background, if you know what I means is. But what I cleans is on the road of the F-Zero. Oh yes, put it all together. Make it your own. Your own Falcon action figure. You can put in your pockets. You can say whoop-de-doo. You can do all those things that I've somehow decided to streamline as me doing. Catchphrases that have no business and I'm not sponsored for, and say them anyway. Oh yeah. You know, doing podcasts is terrible. Unless you already have a lot of stuff planned to say already. But then it's like, well then you're just blogging. And it's just the audio version. But hey, what the hell? Maybe I'm not just a blogger type. I'm not the blogger, I'm the logger. You know what I'm saying? It's an actual log. It's not like a diary. Although I guess many logs are diaries. Some are not. Like report logs, damage logs, weather logs, schedule logs, inventory logs, logarithmic logs, logs about the lumber industry, you know, that kind of stuff. Have you been to the place where it's all silent and junk? Welcome to Whiteland 1. It's all scrunchy in this track. Hope it goes well. Do. And, well, I like imagining how you think the track does. Also, as a foreshadowing, imagine how the Firefield tracks always look, because that's always terrifying. Well, I'm reminded in Stage 1 Remix that Firefield was not the last track, it was the second last. And the last one had to be Mute City 3, which was quite a bitch in its own right, and I kind of like them changing the final track, so... Yeah, you get a lot of track order changes, which hardly even matter, but hey, you know, this must be hella easy to actually edit, just like with Mario Kart. I don't know what the Epic Edit equivalent is, but when I find it, if I get into a situation where I don't have custom box art, I'm going to need to try to find a standardized method to paste the track maps as a placeholder. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. I don't think it's going to, but I do note there's another set of F-Zero track edits made by... Who's that guy's name? I think might have been some German guy, and there's a lot of them. At least 20 of them. I think you can find them on SMW Central, oddly enough. Anyway, whoever it is, I'm probably going to play his tracks for F-Zero after I get through the stage series. And then we can figure out how I want to sort it then. Because I looked at them, I tried some, and, you know, it doesn't have the track editing problems as some F-Zero things I see, like with Mario Kart, where, you know, if you have your version of Black, you telling your reverse. No, it doesn't have those problems. So, and the AI's going fine. Yeah. I think I already have... I don't know if I have the list for that set up, but I know where to find him. I may have him bookmarked. I think he knows who he is if he's watching F-Zero stuff right now. Considering he is into a lot more than I am. And considering I might want to play through all this stuff someday, that is saying a lot. But please, Nintendo, bring back F-Zero! I'll say it every chance I get! Or don't! Yeah. You know what sucks when a random mobile game wants to be like, hey, okay, I don't know why I should be talking about mobile games, but let's just say any game. Let's say any game just somehow becomes free to play. It's like, okay, join a guild, except, you know, we're talking about people who are not going to share the same ideas you have, and you want to just, like, dive into a new community every time you want to start a new kind of game like that with a massive amount of multipliers, and I'm just like, I just can't do it. I mean, maybe I could do it, but... yeah. Could do all that stuff. Do. Getting all those Captain Falcons. All those Captain Falcons. That they all do. This guy just knows how to drive. He drives just like a crazy person. Just like a crazy person knows how to drive. Yeah, looking at the front, looking at the side, looking at the behind. Oh yeah. Night is where the smooth sailing happens. Now the rest of the game is going to be torture. I did get torches in the King Cup, thank you very much. But you know what? I'm over it. Part of that torture is me trying to rush it in at the last second, which I'm not going to do again. But since I was successful, I have to keep the take. And you get to enjoy the horror with me. It's not like there weren't a few retakes already. There were, but that was due to just me fucking up hard. Now we read the credits again. I'm sorry, I have no desire to read the credits outright. I may have done that. No longer. I don't know, do you need me to read that kind of stuff? Yes, hello, I'm going to read all the credits. Why? Because that's what I do. No, not really. Yes, oh, right, Jesus, I keep forgetting. I should really set that P.O. box up. In fact, let me write that down now. Okay. Also, what the hell is this? Oh. I just got a message. Okay, I'll just forward this along. Yeah, alright. Might be something I need to do tomorrow. You know, besides me going crazy. Which I'm going to do, you know. We hope you try the master level. No, I'm sorry. I've done master before. Master is outright cheating. And you know how it loads a preview of the track when the track's on master after the end as a bonus end sequence. They don't work right in the ROM hack, so it wouldn't even be that good to watch there anyway. Although if someone modded that, then I guess that would be worth it. But still, no. Master being like 150cc, AI is just already overpowered enough, and that's quite enough for me. I'll see you in the next video.